And our next inductee is the ever so beautiful Cher Pendarvis. Come on down, Cher.
Steve, come down with her.
Now, as Cher is coming down, woo! Good thing you were hanging on that railing. I know, yeah. And this is some of her work sitting over here on the floor. And I've known Cher for years and years. She's a photographer, she's an artist, and a very creative surfboard shaper. And her husband Steve is with her, and he's also a surfboard shaper. But she's a whole lot better looking than he is.
That's for sure.
Come on.
She's definitely the better half.
Oh, God.
I'll have to go along with that.
Okay. All right.
And I met Cher. She had a photo assignment to take a picture for a trade show, I think, at one time.
Right.
The Billabong Art of Shaping.
That's it. And she came up to my shaping room to take a picture of me, and I go, why?
Portraits. Yep.
Yep. So she did.
Get blessed.
Say what? Oh, got to get your blessing. Oh, got to get your, get your blessing.
Woo. Sure.
Oh,
You got to drape it.
okay.
Yeah.
Got a drape. Okay.
Pull the hood out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, I'm in heaven. Thank you.
Here, come on over.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. Steve, did you want to? I want to keep it like as organized as I want to keep things as organized as I can. So I'm going to be mostly reading this to kind of control myself. Yeah, if you know what I mean. And
Here, let me see this.
Come up a little
okay.
This is 3 pages.
It's 2. Okay, Steve. Sure. Can you start? You want to come over here? Okay. My wonderful husband Steve's going to start.
She wanted me to read this, so here I am.
Wait a minute, what I'm going to do
Thank you.
is do this.
Okay.
Testing.
Thank you, Mickey.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Beginning in the late 60s, early 70s, Cher began making her own surfboards start to finish, working by herself and also collaborating with friends. She still makes boards working alongside her husband Steve. In 65, she began learning how to patch dings at a little surf shop. In 1966, she traded after months of work in the summertime, she worked for her first board doing dings. It was $45. This board weighed about 30 pounds, and she walked about 3 miles to the beach to carry it in all kinds of weather. The board was also broken in half, right?
Yeah, and been repaired. Yeah, I learned about that too.
And her stepdad at the time says, no daughter of mine's going to surf kind of thing, you know. And so when she came home with a receipt that she paid for it, they couldn't take it away from her.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Mom looked the other way and let me ride my bike to the beach. Yeah. Yeah.
her experience with ding repair helped her to be comfortable with the materials needed to build a board. Also, she was a young artist who had worked with wood and clay sculpture. She had an interest in making her own boards and was fortunate to watch a few friends shape in glass. Friends, shapers, Skip Fry, Steve List, others encouraged her, and she is grateful. Anyway. Okay, you want me to hold this for you? You got it?
Okay. Thank you. Here, I made this board start to finish. Steve put his torque tail in it, but I made the whole board, shaped and glassed it. Fins. It's a perfect board for our local
2008 or 9?
Our local break. And that fish over there is from 1971, and I was honored to have it in a exhibit at Surfing Heritage. And there's a story with this fish, because I made this fish for myself to ride, and then I shared it with a young friend who was in high school. And when she biked with her board to UCSD, when she started college, it was stolen along with her bicycle and backpack. And so it disappeared, and Julie was heartbroken. And then our dear friend Mikey, who's up here. Mikey.
Stand up.
There, right there, okay. He was looking for early boards of mine, and he came across it several years ago at a board swap in Dana Point, right? And he goes, "Is this one of your early boards?" I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then when he posted a picture of it on Instagram, my friend Julie, who I lost contact with for many years, contacted me. And I'm so happy to be reunited with my friend and to have this board back. It's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So, thank you. I made the fins too, the fin layup sheet. You can tell it has lots of stories when it wasn't home with us, or Julie. So anyway, I want to give my heartfelt thanks to the International Surfboard Builders Hall of Fame board, Mickey, and Bob, and the whole team. Thank you so much for doing this for all the surfboard builders, and we heartfelt thanks. Okay. Thank you for lifting up, inspiring, pioneering surfboard builders who are the core of surfing's craft that we ride. Thank you, Bob, the Greek Bolin, and Mike, Mickey, Rat, Esther, and the board of directors. Heartfelt thanks for thinking of me and for recognizing my passion for handcrafting surfboards start to finish. I am deeply honored to be here. In 1950, I was born in San Francisco within sight of the ocean, so Mom said. And when I was 5, Mom and I moved to Oahu, where Dad was deployed on a ship in the Pacific. Living in Honolulu in the late 50s was a highlight of my young life, and this is where I first saw surfing. I was mesmerized by the grace of the men and women surfers as they glided toward shore singly or sharing waves together with aloha. The aloha deeply impacted me as a child. Mom and I enjoyed playing in the waves, and I dreamt about surfing, to surf from that time on. We all have challenges in life, and there were challenges in my early surfing and board building days. "No daughter of mine is gonna surf," said the stepdad. Thankfully, Mom was understanding and looked the other way in 1964 when I began borrowing boards to teach myself to surf. To earn my first board, I worked at a surf shop patching dings. Repairing boards taught me about materials used in making a surfboard, and in the late 60s, I made my first board start to finish. The little rounded pintail was crude, and I loved the process and the incredible feeling of riding waves on a board that I'd made myself. During that time, I continued to build boards, glass, and make fiberglass fins, including fins that fit in early Fins Unlimited boxes, and that was a trick to figure out. But anyway, board building tasks helped me support myself while working through college in the early 70s. Thank you to my friends and mentors who over the years encouraged me and let me watch them shape in glass: Thomas Trinan, Skip Fry, George Greeno, Warren Brown, Steve List, Mike Casey, and my husband Steve, and others along the way. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. In the early days for us individual surfboard makers, foam was hard to come by, and so we sometimes used foam from old scavenged boards. The big blend companies like Walker and Clark didn't want to sell to individuals then, or at least it wasn't easily available. Yeah. So for the thick edge boards in the late 60s, early 70s, we used refrigeration foam from Rideout Plastics. Also in the early days, fiberglass and resin for glassing and fin making was purchased at a local marine supply shop. In the early 70s, supplies became more easily available for individual surfboard makers when Mitch opened his supply shop in La Jolla and John Keyes opened Coast Supply in Cardiff. A few highlights of my board building journey. In the early 70s, I worked with friends, Thomas Trinan and Mike Sheffer, making fresh fish surfboards. Jimmy Blair's won the 72 World Championships on a keel fin fish that I helped make. Boy, we were stoked. I made the fiberglass fins and helped with the glass work. This fish was shaped by our good friend Mike Schaefer, who was a close friend of Jimmy's. We made the fish for Mike, and Jimmy loved riding the fish and surfed it to his 72 world title contest win. Yeah, and we were standing there cheering him on. We were so stoked. So, and in 2012, I was honored to have one of my surfboards and story included in the spectacular California's Designing Women 1896 to 1996 exhibition at the Autry Museum in Los Angeles, during which I received the 2012 Henry Award for a surfboard I designed in the late 70s. It had taken years for the curator at the Museum of California Design to assemble the show as he searched for women designers in various areas of design, from furniture to ceramics, clothing, graphic arts, and more. I'm grateful to Barry Hahn at Surfing Heritage for recommending me as an early woman surfboard builder and shaper. My surfboard was the only surfboard in the show. We would like to acknowledge other women who are pursuing their passions with board building. I want to lift up Kim Thress, the president of US Blanks, who is also a formulator who contributes to the improvements of the blanks that we use today. Thank you, Kim. Young craftswomen friends following their creative board building paths are Ashley Lord, Valerie DePratt, Christine Brailsford Caro, Whitney Lang, Davy Alexander, and Brooke Johnson, to name a few. Yep, whoop, whoop. Now, more than 50 years later, my passion for creative board building is still burning bright as I work alongside my husband, Steve. I'm sincerely honored to be here with you at the Hall of Fame, Board Builders Hall of Fame. Being inducted to the International Board Builders Hall of Fame is a highlight of my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, friends, family. Thank you to friends and family who came. It means so much. I've got tears in my eyes. Thank you, Greek, Mickey, and team, for all you do. Warmest aloha always. Thank you.
I got to tell you a little story. So before last year, when we knew that Cher was getting inducted, I called her up and I said, Cher, this is Mickey Esther from, hang on a second.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
I called her up and I said, Cher, I said, told her who I was, and I said, I just wanted to see if Steve can come to the event last year. And she said, why is that? And I said, because you're getting inducted next year. And so the phone went silent, and I thought, waited for a second, and I said, Cher? She goes, Mickey, I gotta have Steve talking, I'm crying.
Right.
So Steve got on the phone, he said, Mickey Rat, what'd you do to piss off my wife?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Bob. Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cher.
Over here.
Rad. Yeah, glad.
Thank you. Thank you. Much love.
We have Hallie right here from the Orange County Register documenting this.
Oh, wonderful.
And Matt Liffring from the city of Huntington Beach. We are now a sanctioned event with the city of Huntington Beach. Thank you to Gracie.
Here, wait a minute.
Thank you.
Hey, John, where are you going? John Davis. You leaving? You're going to go over there? Okay, great, because I'm still going to introduce you.
I love you. Thank you.
Steve.
See you later. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you
Thank you.
have to pick someone for next year.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, they told me that this microphone was going to be perfect, but